Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion number 280. Visual feedback is the king, and I'm joined by Afflixian as always.
Hello, everyone.
So this one's exciting, man. We got more train stuff.
This is full of a lot of interesting gifts, a lot of quality of life improvements, and a little more.
Yeah. So first part, the biggest missing feedback I could identify in the train UI is not seeing the path the train is going to take. So it was the first thing we did, and this is fantastic. If you currently in game, if you like map view in and you're standing by a train and you mouse over it, you can see like kind of the path it's taking, but it doesn't actually show it on the map. And this new improvement actually will show you, if you have a train selected, where it's actually going through the whole map, which is really nice.
Yeah, the current version shows you the path it's taking, but only in the view where you can actually see the game graphics and not the map graphics,
Correct.
which, as you know, you can't zoom out that far, so you can only see like a signal or two ahead.
Exactly. So
So yeah, pretty cool.
yeah,
Quality
really
of life
nice
improvement.
for sure. Next thing is adding a station by selecting it from the list of stations is nice and all, but being able to interact with the mini map directly is an opportunity that would be a shame to miss, so we added the possibility to shift-click a station to add it to the schedule. Since visual feedback is the king, holding shift shows the path to the selected station, so you have an idea how the train is going to get there. The train can take a different path in the end, as there are multiple possible paths to the same destination, but in general, this works. So it looks like you have a locomotive selected, and then you shift click a station, and it should add it to the list, is what I'm reading here.
Yeah, pretty much. And then while you're holding shift and you mouse over the station on the map view there in the train GUI, you'll see is that yellow?
I think so.
The path that the train's going to take.
Yep, which is awesome. Part of me thinks that this is going to be like performance intensive while you're doing it, but maybe not. Because, like, I mean, it has to, like,
Maybe while you're doing
calculate.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think while you're in that map view and you're holding shift, it might be performance intensive, but it's just one train. Like it's only happening for one train at a time, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's true. So then, the next thing, there's a lot of stuff here. The same goes for temporary stations. Holding Control, the default modifier to add temporary stations, shows a path to that point. This can also be used to figure out problems in the rail network, as moving mouse can help you find out what section is blocked out because of bad signaling, missing rails, etc. So because he can do this now anywhere, right? Because he's trying to make a temporary station, which you can put anywhere on a train track. So, he can kind of just do this to check pathing.
Yeah, so there have been many times that either it's happened to me or I've seen it happen to someone streaming where they tell a train to go to the station they just built and the train sits where it is saying no path. And you're trying to guess where on this long track is the path broken.
Right.
This will tell you now.
Yep, which is fantastic. All this is super good. So once we allow any interaction with the map needs to be useful, so we allow to move and zoom the map the same way as a normal game map. The view is centered on the current locomotive by default, but once you start dragging, the link is canceled and you can move wherever you like. Pressing the button will center it again. So this is super cool, because the map view for the train right now, you can't move, but they're making it now that you can. Then you hit that little centering on locomotive and you can just follow it around like normal.
Yep. Another good quality of life improvement.
For sure. We love our train stuff. As you might know, if the train has stations that are not available, the train skips them, but the reasons for it might be different and it might not be that clear what's going on, so we decided to indicate the station state in the GUI and give the player tooltip based info on why the station is disabled. So you can see here, these ones are kind of grayed out and then show the red X. And, you mouse over it and say station is disabled. But then here they show station with this name doesn't exist. So this is super nice because, kind of like the thing you said where sometimes you can't figure out why it's no pathing. Sometimes you can't exactly figure out why it won't actually go to a station or why a station is canceled out. So now you can actually see that.
Yep. I feel like a broken record. Another good quality of life improvement. Good job.
Good job. So when you have multiple sections with the stations with the same name, we show how many there are next to the name in the station selection window. It can happen that a station is not available from the current train location. The reasons can vary. The stop could be in different train system. There might be a bad signal, rail problem somewhere else, etc. So we show the inaccessible train stops with a red color and put them at the bottom of the list. We even have special feedback for stations being partially accessible, i.e. when not all stations with the given name are accessible. So you can kind of see here, the white ones are available.
Yeah.
The blue one, I guess, is the partially.
The white ones are fully available, and you can see Works Gigasite has 2 stations available.
Right.
The teal is partially available, like you just said, and then red is none available.
Yep. And it's funny, I recognize obviously V, but I also recognize Imbrit, who she was a very, very long time Factorio engineer in Colonel Will's community.
Oh yeah, there she is.
Yeah. So it's a small thing, but an example.
If I remember correctly, didn't she lay all the stone, and was it stone and concrete or just stone for the 015 sim?
Yeah, she laid most of the concrete and walls for the entire base, which was awesome.
Having done that to my own mega base, I know how long that takes. Respect.
Yeah, major respect for that. So moving down, hovering the button to remove a condition works normally, but hovering the button to remove the whole station also highlights the buttons to remove the related conditions as they are removed along with them. So basically, that's kind of intuitive. If you remove a station, obviously there's not going to be conditions, right? Or am I misunderstanding this?
This feature is cool and all, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why was it necessary? Why would the condition remain if you remove the station? Yeah. But I guess, there's the saying, every warning label has a story. So this change must have a story.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt by any means. It's great. It's just, like you said, if there's no station, then obviously there's not going to be any conditions that went with that station. But
maybe it's because the stations and the conditions are now in the same window. And before, when you deleted something, everything just shifted up, and they want to make sure that you understand that the conditions are not going to shift up.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That probably makes sense. Just a little visual thing there. That's good.
Yeah, good feedback.
Definitely. One of the most common ideas from last week's discussion thread was some visualization of the and or condition precedence, which was quite easy to do when you don't have a complex condition, such as a simple time elapsed and inactivity. The visualization won't show. Only when you have a combination of and or conditions will be the precedence to be shown. So I'm trying to... Oh, okay, I see. So
yeah, so that white line connects everything that is considered one condition. All of them have to be true.
Okay, I see.
I don't think I explained that right. Everything that is grouped together by an and. So all of those have to be true, or all the others have to be true.
Right, yeah. You can kind of see as this is going here. And the last thing is not really GUI related, but rather change of the station behavior. We were asked many times to support waypoints. A waypoint would be a stop in the schedule where the train doesn't even stop, it just goes through it. Instead of having another checkbox settings on every stop for that, we just changed the rule that no conditions on a stop means that the train doesn't stop at all. My first thought is this looks like an Xterm death trap, but
it's a Murica Xterm death trap. It's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm trying to think of applications where you would need a station the train doesn't stop at. I guess, I mean, I can't think of one because we already have temporary
Uh,
stations.
I mean, I guess it would be for a a stacker or something where you want the trains to enter the stacker from a specific direction, um, or maybe you just want the station there to give the penalty to anything that doesn't have that station in its schedule.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess that would be a good application for it.
Because any station automatically adds, I think it's like a 2,000 tile penalty
Hmm.
to anything trying to pass through it, unless that station is in your schedule, in which
Right.
case you go to it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. So then, if you want train to come to a full stop and then continue, you can add the wait 0 seconds condition. So implementation-wise, the implications of this for the train pathfinding logic weren't that straightforward. Previously, each train pathfinding is done from its current position to the next stop where it stops, but now since the train might want to continue through the stop at full speed, it needs to plan the path ahead through the next stop once it gets to the point of no return, the point where it needs to start braking to stop in time. This means that the train pathing can be ahead of the current station target by many stops, and since the schedule works circularly, it can plan through the whole schedule 2 or more times. The fact that all these things are finished now means that the train GUI chapter is closed and we can move on. There are a few nice ideas of what could be done to make train schedule way more powerful in the in-game train names, train groups, conditional stations, but this will have to wait until some future time. I believe this was the most complex UI we have done for 17, so it should only get easier from here. Well, that's really good news.
Yeah, it sounds like they. A few weeks ago, we were talking about product owners and setting priorities. It sounds like they said, "All right, we're releasing this. We're not adding anything else to trains."
Yeah, I'm glad that they've made that decision. I mean, all this stuff is fantastic, uh, but I'm glad that they've decided to stop here.
Yeah, like all this stuff is good. This is a good feature set to release in 017, and I can't wait to start playing with it.
Yeah, me neither. So last but
Uh,
certain,
real, real quick before we move on, I was scrolling through the forums and I saw some feedback about the condition visualization, where it groups the ands and the ors separately.
mm-hmm.
Um, there were some people saying that this is still kind of confusing and not clear, um, and they were basically saying that the and the or conditions shouldn't be on the same line as the condition because they represent a joining of two conditions. So it should be in between the two. How do you
Right.
feel about that?
I agree. Yeah, you're right, because having it like in a different column but next to it is kind of confusing. I mean, reading left to right, I mean, you would obviously read it before the next condition, but yeah, since it's kind of separating two conditions, I think it would make a lot more sense to put it in between them.
Yeah, and the person on the forum was saying that that it shouldn't be like physically in between them, but vertical alignment. It should be aligned with the space in between.
So
I don't know if that makes
like
sense. So
split.
move it like move it half a row up.
Yeah, yeah, so it's kind of like split halfway between the two.
Yeah, and then there was someone else. I don't agree with this next one, but someone else was saying that we should be able to do bigger groupings, and those bigger groupings should be um, what's the opposite of indented? Unindented,
Yeah.
moved left compared to these conditions. But I think that's just getting too complex. We can do whatever we need to with just these basic ands and ors.
Yep. Yeah. I would agree with what you're saying there. All right.
But that visual feedback is really good. I like that
Yeah, for sure.
because it wasn't always clear before. Um, if you have a bunch of ands and ors mixed in, like what is the order of operations there? Like what gets evaluated first? What gets grouped together? And this makes it extra clear.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so now last is the toolbar. Related to the new quick bar, we had this idea of an easy way to access some game tools, especially blueprinting tools. This is how the toolbar came along. So you can see you have your quick bar, and then to the right of this, it's a small section to the right that contains a customizable set of buttons for some commonly used actions or tools, or actions tools that don't belong anywhere else. You can see the tools we have so far in the image below. So you can see, so this is nice little icon things, and then these are your options. So copy, cut, paste, new blueprint, which I'm not sure why that's grayed out, but new blueprint book, new deconstruction, upgrade planner, import string, alt mode, undo, toggle personal roboport, thank you God, and toggle exoskeleton. There's one here that is very vital, and I'm actually gonna be really upset if they don't add this. Is toggle logistic requests. Please, for the love of God, let us turn off. Oh no, they did this, didn't they? They already did this. I mean, they showed it, but it's not an option here.
Well, yeah, it would be good to add the option here. I'm trying to.
Oh wait, no, maybe they didn't
refresh
show
my
it.
memory on when they did that.
No, I'm sorry, I'm confused because I just did a spotlight with a mod that does it, and I thought they showed that.
No wonder I didn't remember it.
Yeah, no, but so seriously, this is something that should be in vanilla. Like, I bet you 9 out of 10 people are gonna agree with me, or 10 out of 10, that it is super frustrating if you put your stuff in a box to clear inventory room so you can go pick up a bunch of one item to fill your inventory or something, and you happen to walk through a logistics network, and then you get all your crap requests brought to you again, and then so now you have double of everything and you can't fit it. Or if you die and then have to walk back through a network, you get all your stuff before you can pick up your body. And it's I feel like this
super annoying. Really, really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, this should definitely be something in here.
Considering your relationship with trains.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, I think this is equally as needed as personal roboport. I'd say it's far more important than toggling your exoskeletons. Not that toggling your exoskeleton is a bad thing at all, but I'd much rather be able to turn on and off my logistic requests than turn on and off my exoskeletons. So I really hope that's something they can add.
Implement, please.
Yeah, seriously, I mean...
Official feature request, implement, please.
Yeah, if there's going to be any quality of life stuff, I feel like that should definitely be one of them. But back to this. This is super cool, though.
I'd even be willing to delay 017 for them to get that in.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, it should be super simple. I mean, there's a mod that does it. You would think it would be simpler in-game. I mean...
Yeah.
It should take someone RC'ing half an hour to implement. I mean, because our seating showed a long time ago the toggling personal roboport, and I asked him, and he's like, yeah, this took me an hour to do. So I would think it'd be pretty straightforward.
All right, our seating, you've been voluntold.
Yep. You got a new job. So it has 2 sections, the main panel and the tool selection list. The list contains all the possible tools and allows you to pin them to the main panel, sort them, and use them directly. Pin tools are visible on the main screen all the time for ease of use. The main panel will change its size to accommodate for the selected tools. If no tools are selected, the main panel minimizes itself into a small button that opens the tool selection list. All the tools related to blueprints were removed from the blueprint library and moved to the toolbar. Also, they work a bit differently. When pressing New Deconstruction Planner, for example, you'll get a deconstruction planner that you can use immediately. Pressing Q will not place it in the inventory. Instead, it will place it back into the button. This allows you to quickly deconstruct something without having to carry a default planner, which is super nice.
That's another inventory slot back. Thank you.
Yep. Also avoids a situation where you end up with a bunch of different deconstruction planners in the inventory. You can, of course, still keep deconstruction planners by explicitly clicking in the inventory, quick bar, blueprint library, or any other inventory such as the chest. Same behavior applies to upgrade planner and empty blueprints. Some tools will display useful information in the tooltips. For example, paste will show a blueprint tooltip of the blueprint in the clipboard. Special shortcuts will allow you to navigate through the clipboard history. Undo will show a textual representation, possibly also a visual one, of what will be undone, such as undo construction of transport belt, undo construction 35 empty and 250 tiles. Then
pretty useful.
each tool will have its own keyboard shortcut, so the toolbar will also teach players about these shortcuts through tooltips, hopefully to the point where they no longer need the toolbar. So,
I know before we started recording, that was your first question.
Yeah,
is there going to be a shortcut?
Hotkeys for this? And then mods will be able to add their own tools to the list. This is super nice, making a nice place for players to access mod created tools. So if the devs fail me and don't put in the turning off logistics, I'm just going to use the mod, and then hopefully the dev will make it a tool thing, and I can do that. I mean, they even ask. They even say, let us know other quick tools you would like to see added to the list. Okay, well, there's one, and it's important.
Well, make sure you post about it on the forum. Otherwise, they won't see it.
I'm just going to ping every dev in Discord. So
I was going to say, nobody watches your videos. You need to post on the forum.
Yeah. There we go. But overall, this is super cool. Now, I'm a little... So, is this going to go, like... Currently, we have an empty space between the toolbar and your, like, equipment bar. Is this going, like, in between that? That's kind of my understanding.
Yeah, that's my understanding, too. It'll extend as far as it needs to between the quick bar and the equipment.
Okay, perfect. This is fantastic. I love this. Everything in here is awesome. So, really, really great work. Add the logistics thing, and I will be an even happier camper.
Yeah. And then one of the first posts on the forum was, you said that in February we'd get the date for 017. Today's February 1st. And then Clonan responded to that almost immediately with citation.
Oh my gosh.
I love that response. That I would have responded that too.
Yeah. Perfect.
The Wikipedian protester. Citation needed.
Yeah. All right, so that's gonna do it.
In all
guys.
seriousness, yeah, this is all really, really good stuff. I really like it.
Yeah, super fantastic.
I want 17 earlier now.
Yes, please. This month would be fantastic. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts below. If you have any more ideas for the tool things, leave it in the forums, or go spam my idea there too. And then yeah, I think that'll be it. So leave your thoughts below, and until next time, we will see you later.